What's up? Hey, it is the plain and simple show, man. Hey, we are working out here. We have none other than sorry, my bad. Cause I forgot if you wanted Van Gogh and Mason Van Gogh. No, some real shit. Like I need Van Gogh. Okay.
Mason the Ghost. Makes ghosts. Coast to coast. What up?
We got all of this in here.
Right. I love doing that. That's my favorite thing to do to this man. Every time he fucks up, I do a compilation of him fucking up. So every intro to the episode.
I think I saw that.
What's good, y'all? Hey, it's Plain and Simple Show back with another high interview with the guest of Van Gogh. It's your boy Rex Styles.
It's your boy Grammatic.
And we about to talk about why he's one of the best up-and-coming artists coming out in the Midwest. We're going to have a world premiere track exclusively from Plain and Simple. Talk about relationships, about to sign to a label, and more. Van Gogh.
Take it away, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit of background. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I've been producing beats and performing as Van Gogh's kind of off and on for the past 4-ish years. Right out of high school, I started doing open mics with some old friends at like the Blue Fugue.
I remember that.
Before that was the Music Cafe.
Yeah.
So yeah, open mics, and I met people that were involved with the No Coast Battle League, which was kind of like off and on as well.
Right, I remember them. Do they still do their thing?
Yeah, not so much here. They've kind of branched out to St. Louis and Chicago, and even up in Minneapolis. They've got somebody, so they've got.
Yeah.
They try to come back to Columbia every year and do like an annual, No Coast, because Columbia's home. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And so yeah, I mean, I was doing that. And like I said, it was kind of off and on. Didn't kind of get the reception that I had felt like I deserved, and my ego kind of came into play, and I was like, man, fuck this. But you live and you learn, you grow up, you kind of realize some of the mistakes that you make, and I've been kind of hitting it full force for the past year and a half, 2 years.
How long have you been writing?
Oh man, since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a rapper, I guess. Elementary school, even then, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, early. But actively like being serious about it and like making music. Yeah, I was probably like 15, 16. Like, this is something that I want to do. This is for me.
What was that mental click that made you think that, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I've always been very musical. I grew up as a kid, played piano, took piano lessons. I was in the school band. I played like drums. My family's very musical. My dad was a bass player here in town. So it's always been an aspect of my life. So it never seemed like it was anything that just clicked. It was always kind of something that was there. And I just kind of figured out how I wanted to do it, how I wanted to pursue it, how it felt right to me.
Was there any other rappers? Who was the coldest rapper growing up?
To you.
And don't like I knew or
facts.
like
no,
right,
like
yeah. But like
when
made
you
rap.
rap.
Like when you went to sleep and you put your headphones on when no one could judge you.
And no one would judge you. Like,
Okay. No.
I know Landon said Shaggy, and I was like, I don't know, bro.
No, I mean, I was very big in the Rhyme Shares, the label out of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So Slug, Atmosphere, Brother Ali, Idea. I like Aesop Rock. I've always been kind of these underground rappers that haven't been all about glitz, glamour, money, and shit. Has always been because I can't relate with any of that. I can't relate about. I'm not rich. I'm not balling or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of always been something that these guys that introduce other topics, other dynamics to hip hop. It's always been something that I've been more drawn to.
So would you say that those guys would be like more your inspiration and the guys that you pattern the way that you want your career to go after?
Yeah.
Or is that something more just, what you were listening to at the time and you just identified with it more?
Yeah, I'd say I'm more identified with it because I don't really have a plan for a career. So I'm just kind of like going with the flow.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, what happens, happens.
Yeah.
You mutate and you adapt to the situation.
and just roll.
Yeah,
roll with
I
the
guess,
punches.
man.
So one of the things that you talked about just a little bit ago is that, you know, your dad was heavily in music and stuff, and that kind of inspired you. And I know that you're also a family man.
Yeah.
So is that something that you would want your progeny to get into? You know, are you trying to hand down the mic over the years? Like, you know, like I want this legacy to live on. You
If
know?
she takes an interest, I have no means to pressure her into doing something that she doesn't want to do.
Right.
My daughter's 5. She's already very musical.
Okay.
She's always coming in the room when I'm making beats and dancing with me and bothering me. Not bothering me, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah.
she's
When you're in
there.
that zone.
She's very there. You know, when she was a little baby and I was doing open mics, like I'd practice for her. She'd be sitting there in her little rocker and she was my audience. And it just, I don't know, it was...
Biggest fan.
Yeah, or I was her biggest fan, so it was kind of like an honor for me to be able to do that.
Hey,
If that
that's
makes
what's up.
sense.
I respect the hell out of that. That's awesome.
No, it was, yeah. But if it's something that she takes an interest in later in life and wants to actively pursue, I support that. I support whatever she does, as long as it's, you know, something good. And
So as far as finding a balance in life, because I mean, being a musician is something that is extremely taxing. And I know when we had Evon on the show, he said that like there isn't time for anything else. If you want to be a musician and be a family person, that's all of your time. Period.
Yeah.
So how you feel about life? Like where do you find, you know, where do you strike the balance at? I guess is my question.
I'm trying to find a balance constantly. It's funny that you bring that up. That's something that me and my wife have been talking about a lot, is how much time this is going to demand out of me. The sacrifices that I'm, you know, potentially going to have to take if this is something that I continue to pursue. Because it does require you to be out there, networking with people, being out at night, you know, when you should be at home, you know, helping the kid get to bed and stuff like that, you know, but she's supportive. I wouldn't be able to be in the position that I am in right now if I didn't have her by my side. So I'm very fortunate, lucky. I think a lot of this is luck. Yeah, man, trying to find a balance. Hopefully get there.
You talked about producing. You actually produce your tracks. Is this correct?
Yeah, I make all my beats.
Okay. So is it something that like, is it a chicken and egg situation where you said that you were drumming a lot? So did you make beats first or did you start rapping first? Which one was the first thing that was really took you into hip hop?
I started writing rhymes first.
Okay.
But I always took an interest in beats. I liked listening to instrumentals. That was something that I did. Like I used to find beats on the internet and like I would rap like Tupac lyrics to it to like, you know, like it was something kind of weird that I did, but like I'd look at the lyrics online and I'd have a beat playing and I like practice like that. And I'm like, you know, I always took an interest in like, I want to write my own rhymes to beats. I want to do this. And so it got to a point where it's like, I want to make beats and I guess I just did. I don't know. You just kind of like, nobody starts out making hot shit.
Right.
My beats were whack. They sucked, but...
And so one of the things I want to get into, we want to talk about this track, Bad Vibes, that you got.
Okay.
Because, you know, speaking on how you make your own beats and, you know, it was all about songwriting at first. This is one of those songs that really shows the culmination of that and the growth into just excellent songwriting and excellent production. So I want to definitely play this for you. For the viewers out there, you can get the full song in the description.
And then I almost bought shoes instead of coming to the studio. But then I thought that'd be stupid. I look really cool, but I'd be pissed off with myself. You know? Fuck, run it. See, sometimes I want to say some really offensive shit. Like, I want to rap, but I don't want to be a rapper. You know, it's such a bad connotation that comes with that. I don't know. So what I do know is that every time I get on the fucking internet, I get pissed off. I feel like it's gonna be the way for a while. Look,
we're gonna let the viewers keep listening to this track, but we want to get into some of the stuff that you were talking about right there at the beginning. I know Brennan had a bone to pick with you. You wanted to ask you some questions about the intro.
Absolutely.
You said that you want to be a rapper, but you don't want to be a rapper.
Right.
No. Look, this is a semantic question, right? He says he wants to rap.
He wants to.
There you go,
He doesn't want to be a rapper.
Very close.
It's very close, but there is a semantic difference, right?
I
Because
appreciate it, brother Gamil. Appreciate that.
shout out to my JD on the way 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to I want to rap. I don't want to be a rapper, I guess. I look at,
Just be honest, man.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to like be offensive. Sometimes I do, but not right now. There's just a certain stigma that comes with being a rapper.
Right.
I tell people that haven't heard my music that I rap, and I get this look like, oh, because you know all the popular shit is shallow. There's no depth to it. It's seemingly meaningless to me, and I think a lot of people feel that way about a lot of the stuff that's popular in the industry. There's some people that like that shit. The lady that cuts my hair, she loves just shitty trap music, Gucci Gang stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's an acquired taste. But you think rapper, that's kind of like the face that's put to it, and I don't feel like I associate with that
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's always changing. Evolved, yeah, definitely. I just don't get behind a lot of the messages that are being communicated in that kind of rap music. Okay. So it's like I want to rap, but I don't want to be a rapper.
Now, do you think that there will be a time where we shift back to lyricism, storytelling, conveying a message, delving into feelings, delving into experiences and things like that in music, in popular music? Because there was a time when you would turn on the radio and some Nas would come on and he'd actually be telling you a story about something that happened on his block.
Right.
And it was like real and you felt it. And now you turn the radio on and it's Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Right.
Gucci Gang,
just the beat and the chorus.
Right.
Like,
it's really not. Yeah.
That's it now. Yeah. I mean, like if
not even a chorus. If you have a good Gucci Gang 7 times. It's not a chorus.
If you have a good voice, it seems like, and your delivery's cool. I mean, that's what's hot right now. I mean, so.
Yeah.
So, to wrap back to the question, do you think we'll ever see a resurgence of real artistry and lyric?
I would like to. I would like for that to be.
Do you think so?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I didn't ever expect rap to take some of the transitions that it has in the past 10 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Being a kid and watching some of these people come up and being like, man, that's. I just don't get it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So if it did take a transition back, I wouldn't really feel like it was a transition back because.
It would just be different.
Yeah, it's just like a different.
But I guess the reason I ask is because we started the interview, we were talking about Atmosphere and Brother Ali and those guys. And those guys even, when I was in undergrad, those were dudes who were still decently relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That hasn't been that long ago that guys like that still had clout in the game.
Yeah.
And then just out of nowhere, it was like somebody flipped a switch and nothing mattered anymore lyrically.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happened, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where it just was like no more lyrics. 2013, no lyrics was the resolution, you know what I mean? So I guess that's why I was kind of wondering, based on your, like you said, the guys that you related to, that you listened to, that you felt
hip-hop.
like,
hip-hop. I think hip-hop, they're underground. Hip-hop lives in the underground.
Yeah.
I think it might always be like that. If it changes, I'd be surprised. I mean, I'm hoping for that change, but...
And speaking of hip-hop, I want to segue because you're in the process of signing to IndieGround.
Yeah, it's a tentative thing.
So we won't say in the process. We'll say there's talks.
Potential. Potential. Yeah. So that's something that definitely, I guess by the time this is released, perhaps it'll have happened.
So can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with the guys over there, Steady and
so
Dom and Scotty Wu and all those guys? I don't know if Scotty's in officially, but
Scotty's on the label. Scotty's one of the hardest working people on the label right now because he's in Kansas City with Steady.
He started rapping too now.
Yeah, because he started out as just a producer, and there's always growth. There's always opportunity to get pushed into something. He raps and he's dope. And a
cold ass DJ.
Yeah, and he kills it. Yeah. But I produced the single on one of Far Out's most recent records, If We Could Prove It's Possible. The single was called Bittersweet. And since then they've just been kind of watching me, I guess, and I don't know. Like I go back to just kind of got lucky, I guess.
Right on.
Right place, right time kind of thing.
So we're actually gonna close out with what song were we gonna play? Sorry, I forgot. What's the closeout song? Was it Soul? No, Soul was the intro. Bad Vibes, and then we had one more that we were gonna do at the end.
We do So What?
So What? That's what it was, man.
So that's the intro on the last physical release that I've had. It's called Sofa.
And we'll have a link in the description for Sofa so that y'all can go listen to that. We're going to get a link for, you said it's Bittersweet is the single? That produced?
Yeah, I produced that for Far Out. You can find that.
In case you guys didn't know, dude is a hard producer. If you haven't been paying attention to this interview, production is big for this guy.
Holla at your man.
Right? So holla at him if you need some beats.
Or if you need a verse.
Yeah, hip-hop, trap, whatever.
Just doesn't even matter.
Let me know.
So we're going to play this track, So What? We'll catch you guys next week. It's your boy Grammatic.
It's your boy Reckless Styles.
Fan Ghost.
All right, peace.
I like my eggs on the sunny side of the winter summer sky. Everybody welcome, welcome. Come inside, wonder why I'm on the farm. Must have been something like they couldn't run a mile in my shoes, nothing quite like this. You might miss me like a right fist. For some bitch you can't fight, don't try this. If I didn't come for where I did, I wouldn't write this. I don't smoke, but I bring nice hits. I've been blind about what I'm finding, but I'm on point, stay sharp like a nice pick. Another white kid that picked up the mic shit. Probably think I'm grown, cause this life that I live might give some insight inside this rhyme and I spit. But wonder if it's a deeper worth of time spent. Probably not, but I take it like an assignment to grind it. If somebody decides to sign it, they said I can't be what I wanna be when I grow up.